Oh my gosh, the quality is really bad. Let me see if I can actually fix this a little, because right now it's quite dark, right? So we're gonna do this. So earlier I got this like a ceramic palette. I've always wanted one since forever. Oh, it's actually a porcelain palette. I don't know if you can see it. Can it focus? Can it please focus? There it is. It's a porcelain palette, and I think it cost me like about $9. It's 120,000 in rupiah. Wait, let me actually get the. So the bottom part is not glazed. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's not glazed, so it's a little bit. Wait, why won't it focused? Okay, right. Trying to make it focused here. Like if you see here, like it's glazed, but this part is not. So it feels a little bit weird. They should have like just glazed everything. They probably didn't want it to be like a little bit slippery on the bottom side, but the feeling is unpleasant. Again, it's your fingers, so I'm pretty happy about this purchase. There it is. Previously, when I use porcelain blade for my palette, I use this it's a blade, it's a salad blade. I use this too, but as you can see, like they have no barrier, I guess. Like with this, you can just like mix. There's like a slot for each color, which is why I bought it. This one is Derwent Sketch and Store in A5. As you can see here, it has 56 pages and 165 GSM or 110 lbs. So it's not quite 200 GSM, but it handles water quite well. So I have this sticker right here. I forgot where I bought it or like who the artist is, but I bought it from Kamifuro. If I found the artist name, I think like at some point I did know it. I posted it on my story on Instagram, but I forgot who it was. But I'm just gonna like stick it on the cover because oh shit, I dropped it. Because it looks quite plain right now, so I like to decorate it a little bit before actually working on the. I wonder where you make this kind of stickers at. Let's see. Alright. Okay, so that's quite lovely. I have another sticker that I want to put there. Doesn't quite show up on black. Oh no, it looks awful actually. Let me just put it inside then. Okay, so this is the first page. I will just put it here. No, it's dropping. Okay. So this is how it looks like right now for the first page. And like this is the cover area. I haven't really put any other stickers yet, but I will, So I have this sticker from Artemedia that I bought from Kyobo that I'm going to use. It was not Kyobo actually, it was in Hot Tracks. But it was near Kyobo. So I'm just gonna use this sticker, and I'm gonna use this sticker as well. Also, I bought it at Hot Tracks. It's from Artemedia as well, but this one is called the Kun Cat point sticker. I absolutely love sticker hunting there. If you ever get the chance to go to Korea, like in Seoul, get to go and visit hot tracks, definitely drop by. And even in Kyoto is like absolutely lovely, even if you're not really a big reader or anything, but this is how stickers look like. Actually, buying these stickers really made me want to make my own sticker sheet, so I created the BTS sticker sheet inspired by this. I will just use this. I believe I can flat on it. Okay, I'm just gonna stick it here. I don't really mind that it's not really straight at this point. I definitely used to be the type of person who don't really like to decorate my stuff, like my pencil case or my sketchbook. I definitely am not the type to do that, but these days, I don't really care. I think like decorating things is fine, and having things to just look plain is not just as fun. I don't know if that makes sense, because like I love buying stickers and stuff, and it's just such a waste to not use them. You gotta use them. And I also have a bunch of stickers that I got from Comifero. I'm just gonna check like which one to put here. They're all from different artists, so I have to make sure. Ooh, this one is nice. It's from Hontoki. Her squirt artist. Check her out. Wait, can let me focus on the name here so you guys can see who created this little sticker. I really do miss drawing BTS. It's been a while. We put it here. So we have like a metallic sticker, regular matte sticker, and then we have the glittery one. And then what's next? I would like to put some stickers with I'm not sure about this one. Ooh, this one is from Gens. It's from Chimken Soup. She's my pudding friend, like from the Tragic Shop gang at Comifero. Comifero was such a fun time. Like at that point, COVID-19 already started, but it was not. We weren't in any. Ooh, no, it doesn't fit. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Can I probably like fold it? I'm gonna fold the balloon. It just looks nice here though. Like I like it, but I'm gonna have to fold the balloon inside a little bit. Alright, get back to the Comifero thing. Like it was in January, and at that point COVID already started, and I was like a little bit worried. Ooh, I'm gonna be like in a room full of basically people, and I don't know, at some point I just stopped caring, I guess. And then I'm gonna use I wonder which one. This one is a Ravenclaw sticker. I'm gonna stick this here. I am a Ravenclaw, so I'm a massive nerd. Put that there, and I'm gonna put one more. I think like that will fit here. Ooh, there's a cat here. I wonder if it fits. I don't think it does, but like it makes it cute. It's such a cute sticker. Oh, it was gonna be suitable for here, right? Maybe it should be like a little bit there. I don't know. I'm gonna fold the cat still a little. Why not? You know, when you have a bunch of stickers, just use them. Who cares, really? Because like you can always buy more, but if you don't use them, what's the point of having stickers at all? just gonna put them somewhere. Folded cat. I have a bunch of other cats sticker, but I wonder where they are. It's like I don't see them here. Actually, also, can I just say that having this kind of like clear sticker sheet thing is such a helpful thing to have, like, because you can just like check, oh, I can actually put it this here, instead of just like building it and then sticking it there and then it doesn't fit. Like with this, you can actually just see, oh, it can go there, you know. So it's really helpful to have this. But I don't know where to meet this kind of like transparent sheet thing type of thing. Just I'm not sure where to find the manufacturer for that here. I think that's it for now. I hope that they stick there and don't really come off, because sometimes like if I stick them to that this kind of like leather material, it tends to kind of just slide off at some point or another. Let me give you if the color is changing, don't worry, because I'm just trying to get the right color toned, and I'm kind of like editing this setting in my camera as we go. But anyway, this is how it looks right now. Let me zoom in a little bit. I will try to put everything in the description about all the stickers and the artists that I got them from. I think it looks lovely right now. If only I can like just put my name on it somewhere. Maybe I will, like with acrylic or something. Alright, so let's get painting now. Okay, so I'm mixing like this pinkish yellowish color, so it's really like coral color, but the reference is definitely a little bit on the brighter. So I'm gonna mix like bright pink and brilliant pink, and then the Hansa yellow tip and opera. So I'm just making a big bottle here, so I can go in with very flat gradation, because the thing about this paper is that it's quite hard to make flat transitions of color, since it's not pure cotton. Actually, it's not cotton at all, actually, I think. So this bottle of water is definitely gonna make a very bumpy surface, sort of. It's not gonna make a flat transition, so I'm gonna try it like that. Let that dry, and then I'm gonna color this part here. Definitely you cannot use this like you would use cotton paper, just because the absorption is just different. So gotta be careful a little. Also, the colors in general, paint is not gonna leave in like this deep colors in it. Like with cotton, like the absorption is just different, so a lot of this is actually not absorbing really well. But I still really like this sketchbook a lot, because for the sketchbook it works, and for the amount of paper that you're getting, and the price and the quality, it's definitely worth it. And I have yet find like any sketchbook that is readily available here with this type of price and this type of amount of paper and quality here. I heard that I think what is that called, like they have the alpha, beta, gamma, epsilon type of series. I forgot what it was called, but Chris Hong uses that, and she said that it's good. It's a good sketchbook. But we don't have that readily available here, so I cannot testify to that. But this one is available here and easy to get. So another thing that another tips that if you're using when you're using this sketchbook is that since it's not absorb really well the paint, and you want to get like this kind of like smooth color, other than just like mixing your color beforehand instead of just taking it from the palette immediately, because just because if you take your paint exactly from straight from the palette instead of just mixing it beforehand and making like a puddle of color, the consistency of the paint you're gonna put on the paper is gonna be a bit different. Some part is gonna have a heavy load of pigment and the other is not gonna have a heavy load of pigment, and therefore you're not gonna get a flat and smooth washed. But if you are mixing your color on the palette, like on a different palette, instead of just like digging through the half pens or digging through the bottle of paint that you have in your palette, if that makes any sense. If you're pre-mixing it on like a different set of palette and just adding the exact amount of water to this mix, and then you just like apply it, it's gonna have like pretty much consistent thickness and consistent, I guess, color and vibrancy to it. So you're gonna have a pretty much a flat and consistent gradation throughout, and as you can see here, like the edges have like this kind of like sharp outline to them, and that happens when you have a puddle of pigments or paints on your paper and it doesn't absorb well, or if you just have too much for that exact paper, it tends to like stays on the corners and it makes this kind of outlineist type of thing. And as you can see, like on this part right here, like this part, since I don't put a lot of pigment, it doesn't have that sort of like outline thing. I don't know if that makes any sense. And it's not from the color pencil, because as you can see here, like this part is a little bit weakly, and that is from the bottle of paint earlier. Okay, so I'm gonna color in this part. And another tips when using this sketchbook is that you don't brush too hard on the paper with your brush. Just gonna like slightly grease it with the brush, if that makes sense. Because if you push too hard, you're gonna leave like an indentation or mark. Sometimes you just want the paint to move around freely, but if you push too hard, it will definitely like push the paint a little bit too harder, and it will leave kind of like a more of a lighter area compared to the rest, so you want to avoid that as much as possible. So that's why I'm doing this very lightly. You don't have to worry as much about the kind of pressure you apply to your brush when you're painting on cotton paper, because they are just stronger and their absorption is pretty much consistent for your paint, so you don't have to worry about that. But I find that with paper that is not 300 GSM, or if they're not 100% cotton, if they are not even meant for watercolor, sometimes it's a little finicky, and you can definitely use those for watercolor. I always used like thin, super thin paper for watercolor, and it's fine, but it just doesn't work as when you use cotton paper, which are expensive, and that's why it's sketchbook, like you just sketch on it. It's not meant to produce super finished artwork on it. But there are also sketchbooks like what is that called, the brand from Malaysia, Mosri. Like with Mosri, you definitely can use it like you would use expensive cotton paper, just because they have, I think like they have the cotton paper option. But honestly, I've never used Mosri. I find it too expensive for me, especially with shipping and all. And I just like to just use any cotton paper that I can find here in my city, and I bind them together and make my own sketchbook. That is so much more economical and easier, I think. But again, it depends on you, because sometimes people like to pay for a product and they just get what you want. Like you get the beautiful cover, and then you get the beautiful binding, and then everything's packed nicely and tightly, and you don't have to worry about doing it all on your own and making it a little bit neat, or yeah, it's just easier, right? Okay, so another tips when you paint on this paper is that you want to make sure that each part is dry before you add color to the other part, because when again, it's like the mix of each colors are gonna have the different consistency of paint to water ratio. So if the consistency is not the same, sometimes when they bleed together, there's gonna be like a blooming here. It's just gonna be really ugly if you don't want to have that kind of effect on your watercolor painting. So be careful with that. Also, if you want to add another layer, you gotta make sure that this part is completely dry before you add another layer. If not, again, with the blooming, and then you're gonna accidentally leave the color, and it's not gonna be pretty. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is just color the black area, because this part is black and pink, like the pen. I'm gonna use a mix of burnt sienna. Oh, I accidentally mixed it on my watercolor palette, not this one. Okay, so this is burnt sienna. And I'm gonna mix a lot of this color just because it covers quite of a large area, so I want to make sure that they have the same consistency throughout all the area. I'm gonna add more water actually. And then I'm gonna add ultramarine blue to this mixture to make black. I like to mix black color by mixing burnt sienna and ultramarine. It just, I find it to be more of an interesting color rather than just getting your, okay, right now it's a little bit green, so I'm gonna add a little bit more blue to this mixture. Okay, I think this is fine. Gotta make sure that you mix well to make sure that the water and the paint mix correctly. I really really like this palette actually. Maybe I should get more. I don't know. Okay. So it's gonna go straight here. I find that when you're using paint that is already pre-mixed black, it just tends to be a little bit too flat for my liking. And I'm not just saying this because it's a popular opinion or anything, but like I don't like using black. Back then when I first got started using watercolor, I had this koi palette and it had the color black on it, and I just didn't like using that paint very much just because it's such a flat color and it makes the painting looks dead, and it's not even the type of black color or black paint that has temperatures in them. Like it's just plain black. It's not cool black, it's not warm black, it's just black. It's grayish black, and I hated it so much because it's boring, and again it makes the artwork looks dead AF. So I like to mix my black paint. See what I'm doing here? Like it's so easy to lift, but it's okay. I would just like do this instead of just waiting for it to puddle, and creates an interesting depth. As you can see, like the color is a little bit brownish. Maybe I should mix a little bit more for the blue just to make it cooler. Right now it's too warm. Okay, I think this is good. So yeah, like when you mix burnt sienna with ultramarine blue, essentially you make black. It's a mixture that is called Jane Grey. You can make it a little bit on the warmer side, or you can make it a little bit on the cooler side by adding more of the ultramarine rather than the burnt sienna. You can mix I think like green and red can be mixed to make a dark color as well, right? If I'm not mistaken. But like I always go with burnt sienna. And see, this one is nice because this one is a cooler version of it. I think this one is too warm, and I'm gonna go on top of that later. These days I like to be precise in my painting or my coloring. I used to, I guess you can say, like be more on the wilder side when using watercolor, just like things bloom on its own and just make watermarks everywhere. But these days I like to be precise. It really depends on my mood. These days I can stand when things looks messy. And I like to take more time to paint, so doing it like neat like this gives me more time to really absorb the painting session. Okay, so let's get back to the black paint topic. There's also black paint that is called indigo. I like using indigo because for each brand it's completely different. With the Rembrandt indigo, I think it's more of a cooler black color. It's more of a bluish, definitely bluish color. For the Daniel Smith one, I'm not sure if this one is Daniel Smith or not, but I think it is Daniel Smith indigo. It's a little bit on the cooler side as well, but it's different from Rembrandt. And they also have the color, I forgot what it is called, but I'll check it out and I will just put it on the description later. But like this one color that I'm using is also, you can call it black, but it's more on the brownish side. And they also have the granulating version, like the what is it called? I keep forgetting the name. It's been a while since I talk about paint, so. But it's a popular paint color. I'll just put it on the description below later. But they have like all the shades of black that is super interesting, and they all have like different properties to them, and they make such rich colors, which is so interesting compared to just lamp black. I guess like if you use a lot of dark color, you can check it out. Some people likes to use pastel colors. I like to use a lot of dark colors for my painting. And lately I realized that my paintings tend to get a little moody, and not muddy but moody. Like I just don't really like the combinations of colors that I tend to use, because I tend to use just burnt sienna for everything. I love that paint. I'm gonna go over this again to make it darker. Right, when you're layering, again, make sure that you are doing this very lightly. If you have natural hair brushed, I think it's fine, but if you used a synthetic brushed, which sometimes can be a little bit rough on the paper, sometimes you can just stick way too hard, and then you can accidentally lift the color or paint below the second layer, and it's not gonna be a good look. So you want to make sure that you do this lightly. But like if you are looking for that kind of look in your painting, definitely go for that. Right. I'm gonna wait until this area, the black to these sides are dry, and then I'm gonna go in and make gradations to make to add like a depth and kind of like dimension on this area, because this needs to be darker, and to make the kind of like dimension or just the look that shows that this bird is round in this area. At this point it looks flat, so we're gonna do something about that later. Okay, so since this part is wet, and I'm gonna have to color this part, this part, and this part. I'm just gonna wait until it completely dries before doing anything, just to make sure that I'm not doing anything wrong, and making sure that there's no water bloom or anything like that. Also, I just want to say that painting with using with watercolor with clean water is absolutely detrimental to have a great painting, or actually have the colors that you're mixing to be close as you want as possible, because yeah, but sometimes, you know, I'm just lazy and just don't have the energy to do it, I guess. So sometimes I just mix dirty ass water to my painting, and you know what, if it works, it works. But when I'm painting more of a serious beast, or just like something that needs to be completely neat and clean, like for commission and stuff, absolutely have at least double water, or at least cleaned the water with someone or another. Very important, you guys. So this is what I'm doing here with this. Okay, so right now just gonna smoothen out the edges, and then I'm gonna have to go in with a darker color while that part is still wet, and put with this color right here. Hopefully it doesn't bloom, because that would be awkward. But even if it does, it's fine, you know. It's not really what I wanted, but if it happens, it happens. Add in more of a darker color again, just to make sure that we get this part looking dimensional. Oops. Oh. Okay, so we have that. Sometimes when you see me paint and wait, let me fix this before I say anything else. I don't know if you guys notice, but when I paint and sometimes you see like I accidentally paint outside of the area that I'm meant to paint on, I like to just quickly like brush it with my finger, usually like this part here, and just like push it a little bit upward. This part here, just push it a little bit upward. You can absolutely just take this part out with brush, but I like to just use my fingertips. It's faster. You don't have to clean your brush first to do that, because like if you want to take this out, you need to completely dry your brush and like take out that part. Right. So as you can see here, I cannot get like a completely flat gradation. Like there's some part here that looks a little bit splotchy, this part as well, but this is as best as I could with this paper, and it's fine. I'm not too worried about it. Just gonna make this part a little bit darker, and I like to just not smoothen out some of this area. Like in the reference, this part is also having some smooth gradation, but I'm just not going to do that because I like the contrast of having smooth gradation here and then some kind of edges here, if that makes any sense. So I'm just going to do that, and then we're going to do like this part here, just a little bit of red and a little bit of green. So for the red part, just gonna make sure that this part is dry and make sure that it doesn't bloom to that part, because this part is not dry yet, so it's best to avoid doing that. I like that when I paint on my sketchbook, I can absolutely just do studies and the pressure to make anything that is pretty or an original artwork or anything with a composition is just like completely out of the window. I like the freedom that sketchbook will give you. So I really do recommend getting a sketchbook, even though if the paper is not completely or 100% cotton, or if it's not even meant for watercolor, but if it works, and absolutely use it for, you know, doing your sketches, doing studies and all that jazz. It's very, very therapeutic, I would say. I actually do not like the combination of green with pink, and I don't like the combination of red with green. I don't like reddish brown with green, just like any of those combinations. I actually hate it, but if you see my artwork, you see a lot of those combinations together. one part of why I don't like using this color combination is because I use it too much. Honest to God, I use it way too much. And it's just to the point that sometimes, I don't know, I just don't really explore colors outside of this colors. So I always wanna like not do it, but I don't know why I tend to gravitate to it towards like pink and green or whatever. It's just not something that I should be doing anymore. But it's a thing. Okay, so for this part right here, I'm gonna add in a little bit of this color. This is I forgot if this was burnt umber or if it's just like umber. Honestly forgot. But it's from Shinhan and it's one of the first pink that I got when I got my when I made my custom palette. Okay. So I'm gonna add in the dot here for the eyes. Oh, he looks sad. So earlier today I went out and I went out to the some kind of pet shop and I saw lots of cats and lots of hamsters and dogs. I've always wanted to get a dog this day. It's still I'm not sure what type of dog it was, but I think it was a Dachshund. Dachshund? Is that how you pronounce it? But it was so cute because the head was so big and the body was so tiny. The dog looks like a bubble head, and next to the dog was a cat, and the cat was just like staring at him while the dog was just like barking really loudly to people. And the cat definitely looked like, ooh, shut up. I think it was so cute because what a situation, like that poor cat had to hear the dog bark all day long, and it was just she just looked done. I wonder, like the other day I talked to my mom about like getting a dog, and she was like, or like my family in general actually, it's just like, okay, how would Mimi react? Like our worries were not ourselves, but like how would our cat react to us getting a dog? Like I think our cats are just gonna freak the fuck out, which probably they will. My cats are not super chill. I think they would be like completely scared of dogs, or it could be the complete opposite, I'm not sure. But like Mimi and my cat Bo are definitely the scaredy type. They're not the type that would oof. See, that happens when you do that. Ooh, it's still wet. Do not do that, guys. Honestly, I'm not sure if I should add a background, but maybe I should, or maybe I don't have to. I don't know. Let me just worry about that in a little bit because I need to color this part, the fingers, the hands. Honestly, one day when I move to my own house and I have my own house and I just live alone, I absolutely would love to just adopt a bunch of animals, like a dog and a cat and maybe some birds, maybe some hamsters. It's like tiny animals. Looks like they're so cute. Gonna add a little bit of texture here. whenever I do studies like this, I never know when to or where to share them, because I do have some kind of I always forgot this word. Cohesive, right? I like to have some kind of cohesive timeline or feed for my Instagram or for my Twitter. So when I post studies or whatever, obviously my studies are completely different from the way I would draw things normally. So I don't know, it's just not super consistent. And I'm worried that people will be like, ooh, your art is so different each day. And I know that I shouldn't even worry about that anymore, because it's such an old thing to be worried about. I used to worry about that so much, but like this day I try not to, especially like ever since the start of this year, definitely since I started changing my I guess like the subject of my art. Like I no longer do you would say fan art. Like I just stopped caring about what people really think about it. And let me just say that it's completely liberating, because I've been worried about, oh, do I have to be a fan artist forever? And at the beginning of this year, I started like voicing my concern about it on Twitter and stuff. And I know that you can be both. You can produce original art and you can still be a fan artist. But at some point or another, I just realized that I've been making fan art for too long and for such a long time, and it was just so often, to the point that I think I completely ran out of creative juice when it comes to fan art. And I know that probably sounds ridiculous, like I don't know, but like at the beginning of this year, I just thought I just want to make my own art, and I've mentioned this like a couple of times, and people are gonna be like, just do it, and you know what, it's great to have people support you. But then when I start completely changing my the things that I post or the things that I draw on Instagram, I think I lost I think at this point like 5,000 or 4,000 followers or something. And this really is like, at first it was just so worrying for me, because I've never seen that much of a followers lost, or it was just concerning, because I thought that, oh, people are losing interest in my art and people hate me now and my art is not good or interesting at this point. But the more I think about it, it just makes sense that people at some point or another followed me, not because of my art but the subjects of my art. Like I made BTS art, fan art, and a lot of people love BTS obviously, but when they see that I don't post BTS fan art anymore, they're probably gonna be like, ooh, I only followed her for their BTS fan art, and now that they're not making it, nothing personal, but they're just like unfollowing me, and that's completely valid and that's completely okay. And at first it was just like weird and scary, because 4,000 people is a lot of people. And yeah, I just like, at first I took it personally, like I thought that people weren't interested in my art anymore. But now that I think about it, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter what people really unfollowed me for, or what people really followed me for the first time. Like what really made them follow me to start with. It just doesn't matter. Like what matters is what I post and what I draw and what I make and what makes me happy now. And creating fan art still makes me happy, but I don't really post them anymore. I still draw BTS, but I just don't post them anymore, just for consistency's sake. Sometimes when I make BTS fan art or BTS drawing that is in my standard good, or just like I can show this to people, I would absolutely show it. Like the Namjoon draw, that was like really good. And if I get asked to do a BTS collab, or if I, for like the previous like for the old scene projects and stuff like that, I would still show people my BTS drawing. But like it's just like personal now. I don't show people that anymore. And also I'm just gonna say that like my creative juice is not like, I don't have a lot of it. I just don't have a lot of creative energy, especially like these days and lately with how everything is going on. And creating art when you're just forcing it for the sake of pleasing your followers is not a good thing. I know that I love it when people love my art, but when I'm just like trying to force it out of me, when I'm just not in the mood to draw certain things, and when I just want to create, I don't know, like studies, or when I just want to draw like portraits that is not necessarily like fan art. Sometimes I just want to do that, right? And sometimes most of the times, yeah. So I just don't want to force myself to do things that I don't want to anymore. And even like when I'm creating my original art, I change my subjects a lot though. Like I don't just purely draw animals. I just draw environment stuff. I still draw portraits, and I still draw environments, and I still draw like cute stuff. And I don't just like stay with one subject. But like when I'm making fan art, I'm just like drawing that one subject, if that makes sense. I used to still alternate between like fan art and doing studies. And actually when I look at my old posts, I can see that I didn't just like post BTS fan art, but that's actually the same with now. Like I just don't I think like I do a lot of cat series, cat artworks, but I just don't draw just animal stuff, if that makes sense. Like I still love drawing people, and I still love drawing environments, and so I just want to like alternate between all these subjects. And I don't just want to draw one thing because that's boring, and I just want to have fun with my art, you know. I know that like cohesiveness and having like a cohesive look and cohesive subject, whatever, to your art is a very good thing, and especially when you're an artist on social media and when you're trying to build your own name and build your own brand. But at the end of the day, really, it's what about makes me happy, and I'm just not the type of person who can draw the same subjects over and over and not get bored of it, or just like thought of it as not being dragged out, if that makes any sense. So yeah. And sometimes when I do like studies and stuff, I start to think like, oh, what's the point of this? Like no one's gonna even like it. And again, it's just like falling again back to that pattern of trying to please people that don't even know me, that I don't even know, that you know, they probably don't even care about my studies or like my art in general when it's not fan art. And I don't know why I try to please these people. Like I cannot, and the only way I can please them is by drawing the things that they want, and I don't really know what they want. So it's just super abstract. It's an abstract thought, and I shouldn't really even worry about that. But yeah, these days I try to worry less about it. Now we've been staring at this artwork as it dries for a couple of minutes as I ramble about life in general as an artist. But yeah, be kind to your to your favorite artists. Like your support means a lot to them. It definitely is. It definitely means a lot to me. So yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to this, and this part is still wet. I was talking about dogs, but then I don't know what really got me talking about that. Let me rotate this a bit. Okay. Also, another thing is that I don't have a specific schedule for posting on YouTube or Patreon or anything. And again, it's like you cannot force people to draw things, right? Like I know some people can absolutely just have a schedule and they can stick to it, and then they're like, I have to finish this drawing by this like exact time and then I gotta upload it before then or whatever. But sometimes, you know, when you're just doing things for fun, you cannot force it. Especially like with art, it's just have fun with it, you know. And a lot of people are like, oh, I haven't drawn in a week, and I feel like I don't even matter as an artist, or I'm just irrelevant now. People don't forget you that quickly, trust me. Or at least I like to think so. Like, if people forget you in a week, then my god. Artist or life is super hard. Let me think again, like, what else am I into lately? Lately I'm definitely into like skincare stuff. I know that's like super weird and random, or maybe not weird exactly, but like if you know me, it's probably a little weird because I don't do skincare. I don't know, I'm just not into it, I think. But then I think like at some point or another I always get obsessed with something, like I want to get this toner or I want to get this makeup and whatever, but then I would get lazy and then I would just neglect it for months and months, and then I would get into it again, and then I would be like, ooh, skincare matters and I have to wear SPF and all that jazz. But then like I'm sure in a month or something I would completely forget all about it again just because that's the kind of person I am. I hyperfixate on things and I completely forgot about it after like a week. And I'm just gonna say that these fingers look a little bit too human. It just doesn't look like birds' fingers, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think this should be good, right? I think this is done mostly. Actually, let me put some stray hair there. There's also stray hair there. Should I add a background for this, or should I just leave it like this? I think I'm just gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna add a little bit of shading with color pencil though, to have like some kind of texture that shows that the bird has a fur, some kind of fur. Okay. So that's good, and I think I'm gonna add in a little bit of this stray hair here. Honestly, I like how this looks right now. I'm completely fine with it. I think if I add a background or like a yellow background, it's gonna completely ruin it. Just because like being in green again. Come on, Maddie. Do not do that. It's like I have some kind of aversion to these color combinations. Just because I use it so often, and you know, sometimes you just get bored of a certain color. Like at some point in my life, I always think like there's just not enough color in my opinion. Especially when you're dealing with traditional art, it just seems so limited. Because trying to get different shades of color is a little bit hard. Even if you get it right on paper, sometimes it doesn't translate when you scan it. Yeah, so anyway, that was the end of the video. I hope you were not too bored. I know I spent or actually you spent an hour watching this. Hopefully it was entertaining at some point or another and informative at least. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a good day. I hope you are having fun right now. I hope you're healthy and safe. And wherever you are, please wear your mask. I hope you stay healthy and stay safe as well. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.